Alrighty guys, continuing on with Trailer Palooza, we have another trailer for a TV show, but this time it's not for Netflix because, from the Netflix to Dumb event, we got tons and tons of trailers that we're talking about in today's episode, but sneakily around the same time, Amazon Prime Video decided to drop a trailer for a show I didn't even know was going to come out this year, Gen V Season 2. Now, Gen V is the spinoff show for The Boys. It very much takes place in the same universe, same continuity, same timeline, etc., but it takes place at Godolphin University, so kind of a college for superheroes, for soups, and it follows a completely different cast of characters, though there have been some surprises and some fun cameos. We are going to be talking about this trailer. Those of you who haven't seen The Boys or Gen V, I tend to keep the tone and the format here very family friendly, even though we talk about shows like Daredevil and Punisher and things like that that can get a little bit more violent, and Gen V and The Boys is certainly in that category of being a little bit more on the harder edged side. So if you haven't seen it, no worries, but we're here to talk about this trailer. And again, I'm not usually a big fan of the violence or the gore or whatnot, or the really sort of R-rated things. I'm generally not a big fan of it, but really what I love about The Boys universe and Gen V is the storytelling. The storytelling is so sharp. The satire is usually very pointed and usually very apt for the time that we're living in. And I think that that's a great thing to see, just really well done satire these days. Now, season 4 got very crazy, and I like season 4, but I think that season 5 was really where they had their sights, and I think the whole Homelander and Butcher showdown that's about to happen is going to be crazy. But let's talk about Gen V. So Gen V, I really liked that it was a little bit of a break from the Boys timeline itself, although it took place in the universe. It was very smart and sharp. And while season 1 was very much the let's imagine if college kids were superheroes and were being trained in this messed up crazy universe, but it's still college and it's still crazy. Season 2, because based on what happened at the end of season 1, spoilers for that and for The Boys season 4, this world is completely taken over by Homelander at this point. And also those superheroes, those students led by Marie, and we have Jordan. I just looked up the cast list again because, to be honest, I forgot a lot of the characters' names. But now, once I saw them, they were all coming back to me. So we have your Marie's and Emma's and Jordans of the world that are that fought back, and we also had, very sadly, Andre, who was Polarity, I believe was the superhero name, and the actor who played him very tragically passed away. And it looks like they opted to write that into the story based on the trailer, which I think is a very, we'll see how it works out. But I think it's always an interesting move rather than recasting. But it was very tragic that actor passed away, I think right before they were going to start writing or producing season 2 of Gen V. But otherwise, like I said, if season 1 was sort of the, hey, let's imagine if college had superheroes, season 2 is, okay, now let's imagine if this college was basically a prison, a training grounds, a brutal training grounds for creating young soldiers, basically, for the superhero Homelander universe. I'm very curious because season 1 ended on such a cliffhanger with all of them being blasted by Homelander, and then waking up in this weird prison. So I'm going to be very curious to see how they explain this at the beginning of this season. It doesn't look like it really did a whole lot, which I'm usually not a big fan of when first seasons or seasons end on huge cliffhangers and then they don't really, like, it's next season it just gets wiped out. I'm not a big fan of it because it's like, oh, you made us wait all that time and then you're just going to write it away. I don't know what they're going to do, so we'll see. Maybe it's a big part of the first couple episodes and we just don't see that in this trailer. Perhaps that's so. But the other interesting thing, this season's coming out September 17th, so it's coming out much sooner than we thought. Season 5 of The Boys, I think, is wrapping up soon, filming-wise, and I think that will probably come out early to mid-2026. So in the meantime, I'm very glad to be heading back into the world of The Boys. Now, I don't know if this show will continue past Season 5, because Season 5 of The Boys looks like it's going to be pretty definitive. I mean, Homelander or Butcher, it looks like they're going to die one way or the other, and Homelander is probably going to get taken down, so we'll see. And we'll see what the world of The Boys looks like post season 5, because that probably impacts whether or not Gen V gets a season 3. Because while I think Eric Kripke, who's the showrunner of these shows, says that it shouldn't be required that you watch one to know the other for The Boys and Gen V, they still take place in the same continuity. So we'll see what that entails. And case in point, we see a little bit of Firecracker in this season, in this trailer as well. So we'll see, but I'm excited to get back into the world of The Boys and see how things are in the post season 4 Homelander takeover universe. We'll see how that goes. Guys, let me know what you thought about the trailer for the second season of Gen V in the comments down below.